What's happening, y'all? Welcome to Hustle and Heart, where we confront hard issues like addictions and failures. Here to give you all the jewels you need to treasure your life. I'm your host, William Hustle, here with my brother, Big Pat.
You already know.
And we're continuing this series, Get It Out. On this episode, we'll be talking about bad friendships.
Yeah.
Relationships. Situations. So let's get it. Big Pat, get it started.
So, the people that we surround ourselves with, and oftentimes the people that we grow up with, we decide to hang out with, our close friends, and even our family members, we can develop bad friendships, bad relationships, toxic, destructive friendships and relationships.
Yes.
And when we decide to change and grow for the better, these toxic or bad relationships, we find ourselves having to cut ties because there's just no way that we can become our best self if we're still being, anchored down by, negative or just stuff that just takes away from our peace of mind.
It is hard to let go of people you've known for a long time. And sometimes when you say let go, it's not always, I don't have any love for you anymore. Because you don't just stop having love for your loved ones.
No.
It's, hey, we're both moving in different directions now.
Right. And I would really argue that looking back, because I had a lot of people at one time that I thought were good friends, but they were just drug buddies. They were in it. We were all in it for. It wasn't about a genuine care for me. It was a fact of.
But did you have a genuine care for them?
Man, I think at the time, especially when you're in the middle of addiction, it's tough to have, I think, true feelings for anything because you're so centered on something else that's so far outside yourself.
Okay.
Because there's no way that you can be truly with self-love or compassion and caring for other people when your mind is solely on something that's just destructive, So I would say probably not. I'm sure there was something inside me that said, man, I hope nothing happens to this person or something. But, I don't think real opportunities, real friends, real relationships, when we decide to set boundaries or, start to stand up for ourselves, I don't think these real opportunities, real friendships, or real relationships are what we lose. What we lose is those abusive relationships, the narcissists, the control people that just want to control everything about our relationship, or just mental health, just people that are just destructive to your mental health. You're not going to lose a true friend if you change, because they're going to support that change, especially if they saw that you were in a downward spiral. So someone that's your true friend isn't going to want to just say, hey, man, I know that when you were doing this before, it was destroying your life, but why don't you come back out and do this with me one more night? Now, a friend's not going to ask you to, I quit drinking 3 years ago. None of my friends asked me, hey, Pat, let's go out and get it. They're not trying to get me to go out and drink,
And sometimes we have to redefine what a friend is.
Right.
I still have friends that do and live how they live. We just don't. I spend more time with you than I do with them.
But that's how it is when you're growing and you're becoming something better.
Yes.
And wanting something better. And you see certain people that are still in the same patterns that aren't going to bear you any fruit. It's just that's just the vibrational difference in where you're at and where they're at. You're on two different planes, man. So there's just no way that you can coexist in that atmosphere and still be productive.
How do you know someone is a true friend?
Like, I think we were covering that as far as when I decided to change my life, the people that, if there's somebody that you're with and you make them have to look in the mirror by your change, then most oftentimes they're not going to want to try to be around you, because then they're going to have to look at their own shortcomings. But a true friend, regardless of if they're doing the wrong thing or the right thing, will support you 110%.
Because we've had a lot of athletes come out of Cincinnati, and boxers, football, other sports, and a lot of their downfalls be because they're trying to be true friends to certain entourages or whatever.
But all they do is suck the life out of them.
Period.
That's it. That's not your friend.
So that's why I said, how do you know someone is a true friend?
I mean, they wouldn't be there for anything else other than just your friendship, that bond, that support, that love. That's all that it is. There's no expectation of, hey man, you're going to give me some material thing. Friendship isn't a material thing. If it is, then you're in the wrong. That's not friendship.
To a lot of people, it is. And before we go any further, let's get to our quote of the day.
Quote of the day. All right. So, whether we realize it or not, we are thinking most of the time. If you are speaking or listening to someone, you are thinking. If you're reading the newspaper or watching the television, you are thinking. When you recall memories from your past, you are thinking. When you are considering something in the future, you are thinking. When you are getting ready in the morning, you are thinking. So choose wisely what you give your attention and mind to, because as you give your attention and mind to something, no matter if it is good or bad, positive or negative, you are summoning it into your life. Today, remember that everything is created twice. First in your mind, and then in reality. Love yourself, live in the moment, and enjoy this beautiful day. So, what we, what we put our mind to, what we put our thoughts in, and whether that be a good relationship or a bad relationship, a good friendship or a bad friendship, that'll ultimately net us the reality that we've put our energy into. There's family members that I have that I love them, and I wish that I could still, because we have had such close bonds over the years, but they are so submersed in negativity and drama and just toxic behavior that I have to love them from afar. I can't be close to them, and it's it sucks, but I mean, you almost have to be like a samurai warrior with your peace of mind, man. You have to be on the. I mean, if you really want to live your best life, then you have to be prepared to cut ties with anything.
People grow apart
all the time. But then just some people just have these behaviors that is not ever going to net you anything good if you keep these people in your life. I mean, and it doesn't matter if your sister, your brother, your mom, your dad. It could be anybody that is just not on board with your change, supportive of your change or your growth, and constantly wants to bring you back down. Then you got to make the tough choice. And it's really not the tough choice. Self-love is the only choice, because until we truly love ourselves, we can't love or have anything really productive with anybody else.
It's people who don't have addictions, it's hard to just love yourself and make the change. I
would hope everybody could love themselves. That's the secret sauce right there.
I wish I loved myself sooner than I have. But what makes for a bad friendship? Not everyone. Like, I've known friends that they weren't addicts.
Everybody's an addict to something. Guaranteed.
They weren't on any type of drugs.
But if you're playing around in the street where, people could get killed or just, any type of thing like that, that's an addiction.
Some of them didn't even really play in the street. They just grew up in the hood with us.
Yeah.
But they always hung around whomever was looking out for everybody. And that's just how they work. It's like but even to this day, some of those people still, they don't work.
Right. Yeah.
They don't have a place of their own. It's just because they just don't want anything for their life.
And do you think they're anchored around people that are, I mean, you stay around, birds of a feather. It's you don't see
some of these. Nah,
you're not.
I mean, I agree with that.
I mean, it's always birds of a feather, man. I mean,
but no, I'm talking about the ones that they just don't want to not.
But most of the time, they're not hanging out around people that are starting to do better with their life and everything. You don't find that.
I mean, well, they hang around people that is taking care of their responsibilities and obligation. I'm talking about.
But they're not trying to get any better.
They're
stuck.
And always want to live off someone else.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I was looking for. Those that always just feel like somebody owes something, don't want to put in the proper hustle, and leeches.
Yeah, they are.
It is what it is.
But that's exactly what it is too. It is leeches, because
we're gonna try to call somebody.
The only life they know is just is dysfunction.
I'm trying to call a guy named Dewan.
Hello.
May I speak to Juan, please?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, sir? This William Hustle from the Hustle and Heart Get It Out series.
How you doing, man? This is Pat.
What's going on?
Nothing much. We were doing our show tonight on bad relationships, bad
friendships, relationships, everything. I just said, hey, man, I'm going to just try to call somebody on my phone. And whoever answers, we're going to see what they feel about bad friendships, relationships, situations. So what's going on, bro?
Just chilling, man. Just chilling, waiting for this snow. Keeping back.
We ain't worried about that snow. You got a minute to talk?
I said I'm waiting for it.
Oh. Hey. Well, you got a minute to talk, Big Pac. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question. But before, the reason that I called you first is because you are one of my brothers that, boy, if you didn't have to know anyone, you could care less about knowing anyone. And why are you like that?
Hold on.
See, I go for the gut. I punch him in the gut. Let's get it.
All right.
Get it out.
You say what now? You say that one more time now?
I said, you are one of my brothers, and you could care less about having any other friends or knowing anybody else. Why are you like that? Give it to it real. Don't sugarcoat it. We on the radio. We on the air, but give it to you real.
It's I don't trust a lot of people. Okay, I don't let a lot of people close. To me. You know what I'm saying? It's mainly just trust. And I think it's really the few times I've been burned by friends before. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it really is. You know what I'm saying? I had one occasion where, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
We don't hear the name. And it's like ever since then, man, I'm not gonna say I don't need no new friends. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't be on, man. I don't. It's really not a reason. You know what I mean? Like it's the truck. It's like you burn me once, man. Go. I ain't fooling with you. There's so many. Then everybody's not like that. You know what I'm saying? I probably need to do a little better.
You can still hear the hurt, boy. You can still hear the hurt, man. And, bro, we are 45 years old, but you can still hear the hurt from how you've been cut by a few friends in your past.
So I was wanting to, as far as going through your life and people that might even be family, I know in my own life I've had to, as I've changed and I've grown, there's people in my own family I just can't be around anymore. Have you had that experience with just friends or family, as you've said, man, if I want to live my best life, I just can't have these people in my life. Doesn't mean I don't love them. I just cannot have them. They can't have a seat at my table.
Right. Right. Hold on. Did you say? Hold on. Say that again. I can't remember.
No, I just said if have you had people in your own life, like friends or family, that just to live your best life, there's just no way that they can have
His
a seat.
energy off today, Brother Juan. Normally he all excited.
I thought
Yeah.
My brother ain't nothing to know you was asking him a question.
It's been friends and family. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and some people probably have trouble dealing with that, especially if it's people that you feel like you're supposed to love them. If it's your family, you're always supposed to be there. But some of our family, we just they do nothing but just suck the life out of us. How do you deal?
Right.
How do you deal with that?
How do I deal with it?
Yes.
That's hard too. Because another thing is, the hardest part is a person burning you. Well, what I've been through, and it's like, damn, and I didn't look like them. I never would have thought that they would have did something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and how do I deal with it? I mean, I ain't gonna lie. It's day to day, I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? It's like, I have forgiven, don't get me wrong, but it's like, it's hard to, you know what I mean? Like, cause, I mean, it hurts. It hurts. It really does. It hurts. And I have a lot of people say that. You know what I mean? Like, and I think for so many years too, though, I carried that with me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it made me angry. It made me sometimes not even want to deal with people. You know what I mean? Like at certain times. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I'm getting a lot better.
You got to keep getting it
I
out.
look at it like I'm getting it out. And I just deal with people accordingly. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? I think another thing too. I always look at it like what I would do, the next person would do. And it's not always like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like what you would do doesn't necessarily mean that person would do the same thing. And I ain't even talking about for giving you things. You know what I'm saying? Just being loyal. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're like that don't mean that person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just And I just now I can deal with people accordingly. That's it. That's how I do it.
Last question, man, before we let you go. How do you feel about because you have sons? How do you feel about watching your sons be in bad friendships or relationships, and knowing that hey, they got to walk through it because they don't listen.
Well, it's crazy. Me and my oldest one was talking about that the other day.
I know. I said, how do you feel about watching your boys or your daughter? I was just trying to keep it on the boys, but hey, how do you feel about watching them and telling them, knowing they in bad friendships or relationships?
It's hard at times. It really is. It's hard at times, but then sometimes, a lot of times, I just look at when I was dating. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the truth.
And I just sit and I hope for the best.
That's all you could do.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it, man. But it's rough though. Don't get me wrong. It's rough.
Yes, sir.
It's rough.
You got to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I understand too how our parents feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
seriously,
it's crazy. It's crazy when you see your kids making the same mistakes that you did, and it's like, man, and you tell them, but they do. It's the same response that we had. Like
we forget, yeah, but we have to. Whew. I was something growing up.
Oh yeah, I was a mess.
Man, seriously. Hey, well, we want to thank you, Brother Juan, for sharing your thoughts here on Get It Out. Hopefully, you got a little something out today, man, because you can still hear the pain. And that was one of the reasons I had to call you and talk about relationships and friendships, brother.
Okay, I appreciate that, brother, for sure.
Thanks for coming on. Have a good night, man.
No doubt, man.
All right, Juan.
Hey, Juan.
So we
That's
did.
good. That's good stuff, though, man. Just simply because it just reinforces it. Sometimes the people closest to us, sometimes the family that's just supposed to love us and just be a positive influence in our life, they can be the ones that hurt us and drag us down the most.
That family, like people are people,
right? Everybody just
either you this type person or you this type person.
Right.
It don't matter if it's blood family or what.
No. I mean, just because they're your cousin, your aunt, your brother, your sister doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to have issues that could have a negative impact on your life.
Seriously.
I mean, and that's the realest thing there is.
It's all part of life. People are people. That's why you have to be able to see. Hey, this person. Hey, we've been friends, but decisions you're making can take me off track from the decisions that I'm trying to make.
Right.
Don't mean I don't love you. Don't mean I'm not going to check on you. But it means, hey, I really don't have time for you right now because all my energy is focused over here. The more you know yourself, the easier it is to make lifelong friends like you and I.
Yeah, man. That's the cool thing is when you finally find yourself and when you finally are doing things to help yourself grow and be your best self, like-minded people. It's just like when I was going to get drugs all the time, I was around drug addicts because like-minded people flock together. And it's just a general principle of life and how the universe works, man. If you're putting out positivity and you're trying to grow, the universe is going to connect you on. You're going to be on the same vibrational level as those other people. It's it's the simplest thing. Not trying to get too far out there, but I mean, it's real.
Yes, it is. And it's like when you be back there eating lunch with everybody. I'm trying to sell a car. You back there eating all the food. Find people who you can trust with your heart, mind, and life. We ain't talking about mamas.
No. But I'll tell you, my boys are my best friends.
Yes.
And my middle son, was just in a very, very toxic relationship. And I kept telling him, man, I was like, look, dude. And, girl kept cheating on him, stuff like that. And I said, dude, this ain't going to change. It don't matter how much love or care or friendship you want to give somebody. If they don't love themselves enough to have respect for somebody or even enough respect for themselves, that ain't going to change. It's a bottomless
part of life. She wasn't ready to commit.
Exactly. But
in that way.
So bad relationships, though, and bad friendships, you try to tell your loved ones, you try to tell your kids, you try to tell your friends.
They still got to make their own decision.
They're
going to make their own decision.
They have to experience it, I guess. It's like it doesn't matter how many times you tell them. They have to go off that cliff.
Friendships is one of the greatest gifts. We shouldn't waste it on people who can't see our value.
Yeah, well,
brother, that is, man. I look at everyone around me, and I just had this conversation with my mom a couple days ago. Like, everybody still see me who I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. They don't see this here. They only see it when it's financially,
right,
beneficial for them. But they don't see the person that I am today. The person that I fight every day to not allow myself to go back to that person and that way of thinking. What is the best thing about friendship, big bro?
Constant reminder that no matter what happens, you have someone that believes in you. You have somebody that supports you. There's nothing that you can do that is going to deter that person from always wanting the best and seeing the best in you. That is that's friendship, man, and that's love, and it's not about any gain. It's more about just the support and the value that you have. Positive people affect other positive. I mean, it's a contagious thing. And, when you're just like with you and I, it was a no-brainer, like having the opportunity to come work where you work. I knew that it would open up more doors for us to do what we're doing here. And there's a bigger plan.
Period.
And that's the beauty of you don't a friend wouldn't have me come to a place where I was going to fail.
Period.
I made a blind leap of faith. Not that blind though, because my friend was there.
No,
And
period.
and I'm
no
gonna
failing.
and
Failing is not an option.
right.
And it's like any other place. Go through a lot of things, but the bottom line at this place, they want us to succeed.
Yeah.
And they want us to be successful. So I'd rather deal with things you're going to deal with anywhere in our field and be with a place that I know their main goal is to watch me prosper.
Right.
So, man, the best thing about friendship is no matter what, you never know when you might need to go out with one of your friends or just talk or listen. However, just knowing you got whomever gonna be there, there's none better than that.
No. And when our friends see us in a bad mood, they constantly want to come. Like when you, they had asked us to clean off a couple cars, and Will was on his second car, and he'd done 2 cars, and he started to get highly upset because it was.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
And I came over there to tell him, I was like, it's going to be all right, man. You only got to do 4 more cars and you'll be done.
Yeah,
So,
yes, sir. But it's all good, brother. I got all the cars done.
Yeah.
And that's
soaking wet.
That's all that matter while everybody else twinkled in late. Hell yeah, I was eating. But I did the job.
Yeah.
I didn't cause anyone any problems. I was just upset. One of the things, being on time, doing your job, being where you're supposed to be.
I helped you get back in a good mood though, pretty quick, man. I came over to talk to you. I could tell you were.
Yeah, I wish you was there a couple hours earlier. Help me clean them cars off.
You know how the weather is. You know how that weather is, especially in them all-wheel drive Toyota Corollas. They handle the road real well.
Good friendships. I was working for you and I.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying. This is not a bad friendship. This is a good friendship.
So I think one thing that everyone needs to remember is that anyone that takes away from your peace of mind, even if it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, anything that stops you from being or accomplishing your dreams and goals, you have to be ready and willing to leave that relationship behind, or at least you have to distance yourself to where you can still grow. Because
or understand you're being a fool.
No fruit grows in a swamp. Nothing grows, nothing good, nothing edible. You just got a bunch of sewage, and you have to get yourself to a place where the only thing that you're surrounding yourself with are tools and things that are going to help you become your best self. And drama and negativity and people that want to use you and manipulate you and abuse you are not on the table if you want to keep.
They're not going to even allow you to think of putting yourself in a better place.
Right.
So to all those who might be in a situation, friendship, and things aren't feeling good inside, take a step back, evaluate it, and decide if, hey, it's causing too much harm than joy, then you have a decision to make. No one can make your decision for you. You've been listening to Hustle and Heart, where we give you real talk from real people out here living life for real. I'm your host, William Hustle, and if you like what you heard, feel free to subscribe and share. You can head over to William Lyles today to stay connected. Remember, when you know who you are, you can be free anywhere. Big bro, Big Pat. Great show today, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we got this one in. Just remember that the things that we surround ourselves with will become our reality. And that's the bottom line. You got to surround yourself with the best. You got to think the best if you want the best. It's that simple. And if I can change and I can come to a point from 4 years ago where I was smoking meth to right here at this table with Will, then anybody can change. Happiness.
If I can
is out there.
change and you can change,
Then all of us.
everybody can change.
That's Rocky.
One.
Yeah.